Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita, and I am the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. This session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. But before we begin today's session, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. So please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat section. I would now like to welcome Abhilek, our speaker for today's session. Abhilek is a digital marketing and Gen AI expert, corporate trainer, and international speaker. He has delivered global sessions for Microsoft and many other companies. He actively mentors startups, speaks on personal branding, and coaches professionals on winning freelancing and consulting projects worldwide. But for now, I will hand over to Abhilek to begin the session. Let me bring him into the stream. There you go. Let me put up your presentation. Your presentation is up. The floor is all yours, Abhilek.
Thank you so much, Shmita. Yeah, so it's a pleasure to be here. I'm Abhilek Verma, and this entire hour I'll be with you talking about my favorite topic, which is personal branding and finding relevant opportunities. Thank you, everyone, for joining in from any part of the world where you are. So, before we start, a little bit of a brief about what I do and what I'm actually into. Right, so I actually run an education startup, a technical education startup based out of Hyderabad, India. I am also a personal branding coach certified from Singapore and one of the top most active speaker on Sessionize. I would also be happy to show you different platforms which I use, so you can also get acquainted with that because again, it really helps me for my personal branding. I've been also on corporate trainer in the past with KPMG and a total of around a decade experience. Currently, I'm a Microsoft MVP in AI, and that's what really helps me in doing a lot of events and workshops like this. I've had been very lucky to get a lot of opportunities using technologies like AI, IoT, Salesforce, and sales coaching. I mean, I've done close to 300 physical opportunities I've got specifically on this. I've been also very lucky to get some scholarship trips to go to Singapore as well as Korea. And I've been speaking aggressively different locations of Microsoft, including India, Kuala Lumpur, Dubai, and currently traveling to Tokyo and Redmond as well. These are the places where I'm currently mentoring. So if there's anyone who is interested and they would like to join any of those programs, I'm happy to be associated with you. Been also part of Azure developer community, ATP list and Omdena, right? So yeah, let's just get started. Before we get started, I would really want every one of you to be part of the Microsoft Learn resource, which is about building your brand, right? So do make a note of this link, and then we can quickly jump in, and I'll show you why this is so important when it comes to your um, personal branding, right? So with Microsoft Learn, there's a lot of content available out there, which is really helping us to make
Abhilek,
our brand visible. Yeah. So
Abhilek, sorry to interrupt. Can you just click on the hide button on your screen?
when it comes to the basics of building your brand, right from the starting, you should be aware about how to start and then how to keep your brand growing to the next level, right? So whether it is your words, images, or even emotions, what you're doing and what you're bringing in, you really need to take care of that. I'm also going to deep dive about with my LinkedIn and show you some exciting posts which I have done, some format which I use. I mean, obviously you're aware about different formats which we use on LinkedIn, but there are some ways how you can really engage different variety of audiences. So you should do enough research, what I think the article speaks about, right? So again, let's just say if you're targeting a very specific audience, B2B audience, and you really want to know what the competitors are doing, or let's just say what exactly is the challenge in that particular industry. So all those things have to be catered to. And then the most important thing what I understand is, making those set of list of words, as you can see, these adjectives which you're trying to build and create or communicate with your brand. I mean, your positioning versus mission is also important. So yeah, this is a very interesting article. You can check it out. I mean, this is the link, and I'm happy to give any kind of questions if you have any kind of doubts if you have in between. I'll also be checking the chats on different social media channels. So yeah, please check out this link, and let's just stay connected. Okay, now coming back, to my area of expertise and the things which I am doing. I've been using some amazing tools of Microsoft. Like one of my favorite is Dali, and when I was in Microsoft Dubai, I had a chance to create AI images, which is very relevant to the local, society and things. So as you can see, this image, you see Burj Al Kharab, and then you have this amazing, AI generated person who is serving tea. This is just amazing. I mean, if you would have actually seen in the recent final match with India, and New Zealand, there was a tea vendor, actually at the cricket stadium, right? So this is how your life really changes with kind of such amazing AI generated images. As you can see how you can do it, and this also matters with your personal brand. Because I remember one of my colleague, my one of my MVP colleague also mentioning, when you are actually going to deliver lectures physically, or let's just say remotely, to any specific audience, the more relevant you make it, the better it is. So about their culture, about some of the amazing places where you can visit, that is really what it matters. So I just wanted to show you a live example. So when I was in Microsoft, they've been talking about sustainability on the left hand side. As you can see, there's a machine which does air to water. I think part of the UNSDC goals, right? Which is pretty interesting. And then also an image of me with Burj Khalifa, right? So these are very important for personal branding, because again, people can really aspire to, deliver lectures at such great, places. At the same time, they also get to know about you, and get to know about the surroundings where you're actually going. And I think this is one of the most interesting places of the world right now, both of them. And this is something I really wanted to highlight. When you're actually delivering lectures, this really shows a lot of things. And whenever I go to deliver lectures at Microsoft, I really show these images. That really helps me in my personal brand. So this is something which we can do. Another one I'm just showing you, this is with Korea. When my startup was selected, as a finalist delegate there. So this is called Silicon Valley of Korea, which is Pangyo Startup Campus. And this is how startup called Any Moment were able to generate my AI generated images literally in 5 seconds. And you can see this how they generated. But there's one thing I wanted to highlight with this images. AI can do a lot of things, but there is also biasness which you need to be aware about. So as you can see in this picture, I'm not wearing specs, but my AI generated images has generated me with a specs, right? So what I mean to say is, you have to be very careful of giving the right prompt, and to making sure that you know about this biasness, right? Because again, for your personal brand, you also want to use AI for multiple instances and things like that, but just make sure to use the right tool and right things, and to also to know about this biasness. Now, coming to my next favorite topic, which is about storytelling and why it is so important. I mean, I've had chance to attend lectures with Tony Robbins, promote their courses in my like a decade before, right? So I know, like, how they do amazing personal branding, where they have 20,000 people, as guests, and how they get to the stage, and within seconds, they are able to get the nerve of everyone what they are actually looking for. So if you see on the left hand side, this beautiful AI generated robot, this is actually trying to do a stand up comedy, which is with some old age people, and it's just trying to analyze the brain of everyone out there. So think about it, like, you're actually sitting in a conference, and you're a guest, right? You really want a content which is very relevant to you. So your speaker is actually asking you relevant questions to make it more relevant, and that's how your personal branding is important. So storytelling really works, and this is super important right now, which is needed at the moment for each one of us to do it. Even in lectures like TEDx, right now, there is also AR VR coming to the picture, where someone, let's just say, it is sitting at home, but then giving a lecture, using these models where there's so many people out there that's watching them, and this is how this is being created, with these models, right? So equipping your storytelling with the latest technologies really is a game changer right now, and I believe all of us should use it. I mean, how Elon Musk is doing, how the recent governments are really bringing in a lot of capital to Chat GPT, Copilot, and all those tools, right? Even I think how DeepSeek entered the market, and they were able to capture a lot of interesting folks to register for the free trials, right? So what I mean to say is, like, the world is really moving fast. We really need to improvise our personal brand and try to make it more relevant and equivalent to those kind of things, because again, there's so many competitors out there who are doing such amazing things, right? I was talking about Elon Musk. So this is an example of how beautiful the future looks like. I mean, same thing is with your personal brand. I mean, you just think about, let's just say, we're talking about drones, we're talking about technologies, self driving cars, right? So where there is not a driver needed, in Tesla models. I know, while having a chance to sit in a Tesla car and seeing the driver worried, because again, there was an instance when if for example something comes on a road, there is automatic brakes being applied using AI, right? So sometimes drivers do feel like, look, I have not pressed the brake, but then it has done. But again, it's good for safety purpose. So what I mean to say is, like, everything is emerging. I mean, as you can see, these are holograms. I wanted to show you some beautiful pictures. Colors will change based upon our emotions, how we talk and do things like that. And this is how your airport will look like, where people are waiting in the airport and things. So yeah, this is how amazing the technology is, and this is how your personal brand should speak, in terms of reaching out to global masses. Now, quickly jumping to the most important topic, why we are here. So a lot of people ask me, like, I already have been working in a corporate setting. I've been really doing well, but why is personal branding so important for me today? Okay, so one of the most important thing is, are you creating enough number of content, right? So we'll jump into my LinkedIn as well, and I'll show you, like, what kind of contents I create. But before that, I wanted to highlight, like, are you creating content on all channels? Because imagine if let's say one of the channels is not working that well, your engagements are not increasing, your views are not increasing. So what will you do in that context, right? So your personal branding should have enough content on different platforms. So you can start with LinkedIn. I think that is one of my favorite platforms. You can go with Medium if you want to publish articles. Even with LinkedIn, you can write newsletters. I have a newsletter which has close to around 3,800 followers. So it's pretty simple. Basically, you just start writing articles on this social media platforms and get that visibility. Parallelly, tag a lot of people, corporates, Microsoft. I mean, for example, you can tag them. If you're writing something related with tech related content and things like that, right? Now, why, okay, we have already talking about what is personal brand and its importance. Now, how does it impact my career and business growth? Okay, so why is it so important? Why am I so focusing on the personal branding specifically for, let's just say, for our career and business growth? I'll share some relevant examples from my own career. So I remember a time when I was applying through a lot of public speaking opportunities, and many of them couldn't probably reply on time. They were like, we'll get back to you, and then they were not able to reach out. Versus me, when I write a post on LinkedIn and I get inbound now queries, when people reach out to me saying, are you available for this session, how does your calendar look like, and things like that. So there's a difference between outbound and inbound. With personal branding, what happens is you get a lot of inbound opportunities, through emails, through emails, right, and things like that. So when you write a lot of content, which is obviously should be very relevant to the person who is reaching out to you, so you can make different set of industries to cater to. So let's say, for example, I come from an IoT industry. I've worked entirely close to a decade, working with doing things in sales, doing thing with sensors and things like that. So I've been focusing on writing articles on IoT. Then I moved transition to AI, and then I started writing about these amazing tools with Microsoft, like Copilot, Chat GPT, right? And then talking about different growth segments. Okay, so for example, I started my company in December in 2023, And then from that time till the time I got incubation, till the time I became a startup mentor, there has been some kind of changes in my business, and there has been some incremental growth there. So this is all because of me contributing to different communities, just like Microsoft Reactor is one such great community. So there are multiple communities you can contribute. There are multiple public speaking places where you can volunteer, organize events, specifically, let's just say with TEDx. You can do it with Toastmasters, right? So there are many places where you can do, and there you can probably get a lot of industry connections, maybe also your leads, which probably you want to work with, and such great companies, right? So I'll quickly show you some of my LinkedIn stuff, before I jump up to the next part. So yeah, I mean, I'll just show you my LinkedIn. So basically, this is my LinkedIn. I have, I think, around 21,600 plus followers. And as you can see here, this is very specifically about my post impressions. The reason I'm showing you is this actually helps me to understand where I have to improve. So let's just say I want to see my 90 days data, and I'm assuming you're able to see my content performance increasing or decreasing, based upon what kind of content I post. So as you can see on the screen, there has been a 61% increase in the past 90 days, and you can see some spikes where it has reached close to 3,000 impressions, which is pretty good. And you can see, like, past 90 days, I was able to reach maybe 10,000 plus members. These are some of my favorite posts which have got more impressions. Also to highlight, I mean, you can also talk about your audience. So when I talk about audience, you can also check, like, in past 90 days, how has your followers increased. So you can see there was a spike here in my followers, I think close to 100 plus on one single day. So this is all because of personal branding, and also because of delivering lectures. But then if I want to see the entire year, if I want to see past 35 365 days, how it has inclined or declined. So you can see there was a spike here close to 197 here, and then again here, as I showed, 100 plus. This is also something as an important demographics you should look at in personal branding. So I mean, what kind of job titles are probably catering to you. So you can see, for me, most of them are founders, but again, there's also human resource managers, who are also important as part of my demographics. I can also check what kind of locations are people there, in my network, who are really engaging with me, or maybe they are seeing my post. So you can see, like, I live in Hyderabad, and I can see, like, these are the 5 cities in India where I think I have my demographics. What are the industries where I can cater to? Okay, so this is super important for personal branding. So for example, I come from marketing and sales background, so I know advertising services are really super important for me. I worked in Big Four, so consulting and services also, and financial services. Now coming to AI and things like that. So again, software development and IT services. So I'm very relevant to the right set of industries where I want my personal brand to go. And this is a good statement of saying, like, look, my audience is really good, which I have connected with. Are these also senior people, directors? So I can also make a pivot, and I can show you things like that. I'm going to show you a tool, in fact, in few seconds, after this, about this as well. And then also this important thing. So right now I run a startup. So, like, I talk about how about this small SMEs. So you can see, like, 11 to 50 employees is around 12% of people who are in my demographics right now, versus some big enterprises, which is 21%. So these are some insights you can come to know about whom to target. Let's just say you want to win clients, you want to get vendors and things like that, right? So these are some of the things you can check, and then obviously which companies are actually checking you and things like that. So these are some of the 5 companies always on my profile, which is a part of my demographics, right? Now I was talking you about some tool, so I'll just quickly show you one of my favorite tool, which is called Engage GPT. So I think I'm able to use AI, enable it with my Chrome, or with my Microsoft Edge dashboard, and it just shows me in detail about what is my search experience. It will give you 100 credits, every day you can use, and you can see, like, how much is the things like that. I can also do automation here, where I can write content using AI. So basically, I can probably connect my LinkedIn, and then I can probably write, and I can also schedule the post. Maybe tomorrow, if you feel like, just like you have Buffer app, if where you can actually connect your all the social media and schedule your post. Similarly, this app is pretty interesting for me. Parallelly, I can generate a post based upon just like how chat gpt does. So I can have a humorous, formal, and things like that, and then obviously I can make it in a queue. So this is like an interesting way I can do to analyze my own persona and make an interesting post and do things like that, right? So this I really wanted to show. Now let's just go to some of things I wanted to highlight. I mean, this we have already discussed about the followers. Now let's just go to one of my LinkedIn posts which had a good impressions to show you about personal branding. So I remember delivering a lecture for Microsoft Dubai, and after coming back, I really wanted to write a post, acknowledge everyone who helped me, during my days, specifically organizing committee, Venkatesh and all. So I really wanted to, write a gratitude post about it. But I also wanted to talk about AI, because a lot of people ask, is AI killing jobs? Is it dangerous and all? But as you can see, this post which I have written, it's very much structured. It's very much important that you understand that this is very much in line with mobile version of reading. So I'm just trying to show you why it is important. So as you can see, this is in a zigzag format. As you can see, this just starts with can AI kill jobs. There are few words here, and then the words increase here, then the words decrease here. Similarly, if you go down, you will see the same format which I have used. I've tagged a lot of people, the organizers and everyone, right? And this post, as you can see, had 177 likes, good impressions, as I can see. So what I mean to say is, like, if you make post something mobile friendly, this also will get viral. But again, you really need to experiment with a lot of things. But this is a very interesting format you can use, as it is much easy, let's just say, on my mobile to read and do things like that. So this is something I really wanted to highlight for every one of us who's here. There's another post maybe I can show you. Like, this is also one, I think, my favorite, when I got accepted as MVP and it got viral. So I mean, again, how you're writing post, how you're acknowledging people, thanking people, that also matters. So gratitude also, post of gratitudes also are important, which is something you can really do in terms of your personal branding. Let's just now come back to our presentation. Right, so these are some of my real world examples I was talking about, which I've been really passionate about and doing things. Right, now the next segment, okay, this is the super important segment I really wanted to highlight. Right, so this segment is all about who is your ideal prospect. Okay, so a lot of people ask me, like, there's a huge ocean out there, right? And how do I ensure that I am reaching the right kind of personas? So you need to have your individual customer profiling done, where it is about, let's just say, you want to sell, let's just say, training services. You want to teach chat gpt copilot, you want to teach AI. So who will be your right audience? So one could be your universities, where a lot of the students would actually love to have you as a guest lecturer or a speaker. Another could be maybe corporates, where you want to actually penetrate, and maybe they want to showcase to everyone that they are using AI on the back end and things like that. So you can reach out to different companies out there who are looking for AI trainers. Another thing could be, you could become a LinkedIn influencer like me and help companies out there to promote their brands, okay, for a fee. Okay, so most of the influencers, they charge either a one time fee to write a blog, or let's just say, they also have a model where it's like a retainer model, where they do it based upon number of posts, and let's just say making product reviews. So I've been doing a lot with Microsoft partners. So you can also think about how do you try to reach out to them. One of the interesting thing is maybe writing more information about what you do, based upon so make it more relevant to your prospects. Think from your prospects mind what they would really like, maybe what they want to see as a future. So those are some important things that will help you to get your ideal prospect. Right, so now these are very important things we know but we miss out on. When I talk about what is the element for a strong personal brand, I mean, just ask yourself, when you're talking about your personal brand, do you have a website? Do you have a corporate email ID, which is a professional email ID, right? So these are super important. A lot of freelancers, a lot of people, who really wanted to enter into personal brand, they miss out on that. Don't do that, right? So have your personalized website. You can start with WordPress. You can start with the Wix. You can start with any of the platforms which you like. You can get a domain with Namecheap as cheap as possible, right? Your LinkedIn, it should really speak. Your LinkedIn, even the name of your LinkedIn profile should be your own name, or let's just say a specific kind of industry you're catering to. So there are a lot of people, they just have, let's just say, ABC123 and something on the profile at the end. Don't have that. Have your own name. So if you check my LinkedIn, you'll find Abhilek Verma very much there. So all my social medias has only Abhilek Verma. So people can quickly search on internet, and I can come quickly on the search engine when they're searching me on LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, or any of the social media channels which I am into, right? Now, next and the most important part is thought leadership, right? So your content should be in such a way where you're talking about what are the different kind of areas you're expert in. So let's just say, for my instance, I am an expert in AI, generative AI, as well as I do prompt engineering very specifically to that. So that is what I write content. There's also something, I make a newsletter where there are around 3,800 followers on LinkedIn, and I talk about sales and how you can increase your channels when it comes to reaching out to more prospects and things like that. So this is very specific to my content. Now think about how you can become an expert. So you can see who are the top 100 or 200 experts out there in the field. Maybe connect to their LinkedIn. I'll give an example of mine. So for example, when I wanted to deliver lectures with coaching, with motivational speeches and all, so I used to look to Jordan Belfort, as well as to people like Tony Robbins, right? So I'll just literally go to their LinkedIn and do a comment, something very relevant to what they have posted. Now what it does is, it actually helps you to reach to their followers, who actually could be your ideal prospects, right? So commenting on your let's say ideal profiles, or let's say the kind of personalities you're following, if you actually go and comment on their LinkedIn, that really would be important to get some very relevant followers, because someone following Tony could also be your ideal customer, right? Now talking about speaking opportunities, so let's just go back and see what are the ways how we can search speaking opportunities. So I'll just quickly show you a platform which is one of my favorite. It's called Sessionize. Okay, so Sessionize actually helps you to apply to different public speaking opportunities, right? So when I say public speaking opportunities, here I am very specifically talking about you delivering lectures either remotely, or you're trying to deliver lectures, talking about going to different countries, like the way I am doing, right? So I'll just show you my public profile to give you an instance about how to start with Sessionize. So obviously you can use images. This is my photo, by the way. This was my lecture, I think, last year at Microsoft Reactor Bangalore, right? So you can give some good images which you have. You can write a headline about you, and if you have some awards, like I have with Sessionize, and as an MVP as well with Microsoft. And you can select your area of expertise. So I was mentioning this about your industry, right? That is your area of expertise here. So you can see these are the specific set of 5 industries where I do lectures, where I want to speak, because these are the places where I actually worked in. I've been lucky to also get opportunities with smart city, with government sector, for tender work and things like that as well. So I've made it very relevant. These are the places where I want to deliver lectures. What are the topics you want to select? So these are the topics which I deliver lectures. Similarly, you can also select your topics when you want to get a freelance opportunity, or when you want to do public speaking, at a great places, like Microsoft. And these are your session topics. So you can have different variety of session topics on this platform. So you can do a lot of things. So like, for example, I'm doing on LLMs, I am doing on Microsoft Copilot, I'm doing for Chat GPT, right? Then there is Flutter app. Then there is something like Foro, right? And then there is very specifically customized lectures, 365 mastery, right? So you will see a lot of such lectures varieties which I am trying to do my profile. So I am doing more with AI power platforms and things like that. And I think you will also going to see different places where I'm getting selected, as a speaker, where it is upcoming, and the places where I'm delivering. So there's a lot of places I got selected, and this is also because of this platform. So I just quickly wanted to show you this platform. Parallelly on this platform, you can also go to one of my favorite thing, which is your speakers directory. So when I'm saying speakers directories actually helps me to come to know how strong am I in a particular industry. So let's just say my industry is business and management. Considering the fact that I have actually had experience working more with MBA faculties, graduates, and things like that. Even with BBA graduates and also. So I want to see who are the experts right now in the globe in terms of sessionize page, and maybe where they are speaking and doing things like that, right? So I just wanted to go and check. So as you can see on this page, you will get a lot of different industries to check with. So let me quickly go to business and management and see who are the best profiles out there, which is obviously either close to me, or maybe I can select, let's just say, if I'm traveling to any specific country, or if I want a lecture, let's just say tomorrow I need a lecture at Shanghai, so I want to filter it and check who are the best speakers in Shanghai on this platform. Right now let's just see what is available. So as you can see, my profile by default is on the top, because maybe I have done a lot of sessions, and it might be showing some relevancy on that as well. And obviously when it comes to near me, so obviously it will show me like someone who's available. Parallelly, I can see there are more speakers out there who are maybe way better than me. They are doing amazing lectures, and they're also Microsoft MVPs. So I can see a lot of others Microsoft MVPs, also in that list. So as you can see, on the screen, it's not just me. There will be more people who will be experts. So you can actually go to their profiles and see where they are speaking. So that will give you an instance of where you can also apply. So tomorrow I aspire, let's just say, to go to Canada, and I see there is already a speaker who is doing in the same industry, and maybe I can go and check where they are delivering, which kind of events are they participating, what kind of topics are they delivering. So this will really help me to apply to that same conference maybe next year, and things like that, right? So this is what I really wanted to highlight as well, considering we are using public speaking, and we really want to be an expert and things like that, right? So yeah, so this was more on the context of public speaking. Now the next part, I think, is about professional networking. I'm skipping the articles one because we have already discussed about LinkedIn. So now we are talking about professional networking. So I think one of my favorite is going to meetup.com. So when you go to meetup.com, you get different variety of conferences you can participate online and offline. So join Microsoft Azure tech groups. So there are around 150 countries where you have different conferences where you can actually apply as a speaker. Similarly, you can join Global AI community where there are so many events happening. I think I'm really amazed with March conducting so many events globally. At around maybe around 100 plus locations, right? So this is amazing. So you can join that network as well. I think, yeah, participate in all such kind of webinars, workshops with Microsoft Reactor, right? And then also on LinkedIn you have different groups. So let's just say you want to aspire to become an MVP, so you can join the MVP mentorship circle group. Let's just say if you aspire to become an expert in one particular technology, so join that specific group. Let's just say Java. You talk about Python, you talk about other technologies like C++, SQL and things like that. So based upon your understanding, based upon your profile, you can have it. I think I was in Pune and we were discussing with few of the aspirants who want to become Microsoft MVPs. So they were also talking about I'm an expert, let's just say, at one technical area, and I want to continue with that as an expert. But how about the other areas? So what I would recommend is, like, have 2 to 3 areas to contribute to. So for example, I do AI, IoT, and Salesforce, as well as sales trainings. So I have multiple areas to contribute to, because again, you never know, you might get an opportunity in another segment. I've got a lot of trainings coming through IoT and Salesforce with different colleges, different companies. So have a different variety of profiles. Even leadership lectures I've had chance to give to some great banks like Kashmir Bank and things like that. So what I mean to say is, like, have different variety of profiles. You never know what kind of inbound leads you get. So just make sure that your professional networking is up to date. You really have your profiles up to date, have your portfolio. I would love to share, if you could connect with me on LinkedIn, I'll be happy to share my portfolio, and I'll also include some resources to go along with my PPT, so you can also have a look into it later once we connect. So what I mean to say is, like, have your profile built in such a flawless manner that a lot of people can directly send you a DM, and let's just say, they just say like, look, let's just get started, right? Now, the next part of the lecture I wanted to highlight is, how do you make prospects become, say, like, wow, this is just an amazing profile. I really aspire to work with this person, right? So your personal brand has to speak a lot, right? As I have already mentioned, your portfolio, your website. I think you can also make a quick links. Okay, so there's something called as link.tree. So when you use link.tree, you can create different profiles, different kind of places where people can go and join your workshops and things like that, right? So it can make a portfolio of a lot of things if you don't want to invest in a website, right? And then the most important thing, what as you can see, is about thought leadership. We've been talking about that, right? So the content which you are posting, that should wow the prospects. Parallelly, prospects also aspire to become like you. So posting content about, let's just say, rejections, posting content about how you have improved your life from past 3 years, 4 years, how you were different. So let's say, for example, if you ask about me, I was an introvert in school. So I've been talking about how I changed from an introvert to an ambivert and to an extrovert. So you can write about that as well, if you believe like you have really transitioned your profile from XYZ, and move to another lecture, or let's say another way of interacting with people. So those kind of elements people can resonate. Maybe there are a lot of people out there who are really struggling. They probably need guidance, and they might actually want to come to you to know about it, right? So you can actually talk about that. You can actually talk about all those areas of things which you can do it, right? Now, the most important thing which I really wanted to highlight is about, okay, we have been talking about your LinkedIn. Amazing. You have understood about all those things, right? Now, how do we optimize my LinkedIn for branding? I mean, I've been getting a lot of these questions day in and out. They've been saying, should I use AI? Should I use, to summarize? Should I write about experience? Yes, definitely. You can use AI. You can put your thoughts on a tool like ChatGPT, and then let it summarize content for you and make it more relevant. Make sure to put your email ID. I get a lot of inquiries coming through email as inbound as well. So whenever you're optimizing a profile on LinkedIn, make sure your email ID is visible. If you are comfortable, share your mobile number as well, so people can quickly WhatsApp you. You can put an API link of your WhatsApp if you want people to text you right away. This is available with WhatsApp. You can do it. So this is something which I wanted to highlight. Even your headline should speak. I'm not going to show you my headline about what I have done, and things like that, because again, I want to make it much more wider audience. I want to talk about much more wider spectrum, because again, there might be few people who might be of a different variety of profile. So, but again, at the end of the day, you can optimize it using AI. You can obviously use these tools. It can really make it more structured. Again, I'm not saying just blindly copy and paste. That will not work out. So I can give you a prompt. Let's just say you want to optimize your LinkedIn. So you just say like, "Hey ChatGPT, could you optimize my LinkedIn profile, considering the fact, this is what I do, this is my experience." So write down about that, and then you tell them like, "Look, this is what I want. Can you make it more relevant?" So you have to talk to AI tools like ChatGPT and Copilot as your companion, and then they will make it more relevant. Otherwise, if you just blindly write, can you optimize my LinkedIn profile, they'll not give you more relevant. So make it much more relevant, right? And specifically your summary, that really is important, because a lot of your prospects will go and check your summary first, right? So if they want to work with you, maybe they want to do partnership with you, they want to associate with you, they will actually like to see summary. Even if you are applying for job, for example, right? So they would like to see, a recruiter would like to see your summary, right? And your experience sector. The most important, see, if you go to my LinkedIn right now and check, I have included as many photos as relevant. So whenever you're doing lectures, whenever you're traveling, whenever you're being part of a education system, let's just say you're at a university, take a pictures. If you're at a Microsoft campus, take pictures of Microsoft, right? And post it across. So these are some things which will really help you to optimize your profile, right? Moving to the next part about content strategy. I mean, we've been already knowing about that. We've been doing a lot of things with content, right? But I think your post, your articles, your engagement, this has to be very much relevant to the audience whom you're catering to. I also had a chance to put an AI tool to remove audience which is not relevant to my profile, or probably these are my competitors, right? So there are a lot of AI tools I can recommend, which you can use if you really want to have very like what I can say is segmented audience, or strategically you can see like whom you want to connect with. And yeah, I mean, grow your network. I mean, this is something self-explanatory. I don't need to talk about that. So having a variety of people in your profile really matters, right? So growing your network is important. As we say, like, your network is your net worth, right? So this is super important, which is something you can highlight, right? Now I've already spoken about storytelling. I'm not going to go much deeper about storytelling and in terms of your visibility and doing things about that, right? But then I really wanted to highlight is, have a unique narrative to your experience. So let's just say how you started your career to how you have transitioned to a specific profile. So I meet a lot of people who change, let's just say, from digital marketing to finance, or let's just say someone who's in product and they move their profile from a product or a UI UX designer to something like data science, right? So I mean to say, you talk about that storytelling aspect about how you changed your career, how you have maybe taken a transition and doing things like that. And foremost important thing is, are you showing your achievements effectively or not, right? I think this is one of the things which I have seen people not doing it. I mean, people say, I don't want to boast. I mean, it's okay, you cannot boast everything, but it's important that you showcase your achievements. So you can put it on your WhatsApp status, you can actually put it on different social media channels like Insta, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it on LinkedIn, right? You can put it in story. So there's different ways how you can showcase to different, you never know, there might be an inbound lead coming to you. And it has actually happened to me. I have put something on my WhatsApp status and I was able to get a very high quality lead. So yeah, I mean, do not hesitate to put out your achievements to people out there about what great work you're doing and things like that. So showcasing your achievements is also an important aspect which I really wanted to highlight. And yeah, I mean, reach out to different startups, because again, there's so many startups I see right now using AI right now. I mean, if you see with the current statistics, I believe like in next 5 to 6 years we are going to be one of the top most AI capitals of the world, right? I mean, with Hyderabad coming up with the AI city already in 2026. So we know that even Lucknow is there. I mean, which is actually one of the AI cities. So you reach out to more number of startups, and that's what I really like doing mentorship with amazing startup communities globally. Even there's Microsoft for Founders Hub. If you want to get Azure credits, so definitely you can reach out to us. So there's different communities you can reach out, and different places where you can actually improve your personalized branding. Because again, ultimately, when you reach out to these communities, you will get some amazing profiles, and maybe you can tag them and make your LinkedIn much more visible, because that's what even Microsoft is doing. The next part is about strategic networking and finding opportunities, the most important part of today's lecture. Now, the most important thing I really wanted to highlight is, um, the thing when I say how to network with purpose is super important right now. The reason being, you should have a purpose in mind. So let's just say, for people, sometimes it's about I want to achieve XYZ status in my life, reach the self-esteem level of Maslow's hierarchy and things like that, right? So I mean, it's the same thing when you go to a conference, have a purpose. It's not just always about lead generation per se, it's also about helping each other, right? So that is what I do, rather than just think about lead generation. If you just think about just getting lead, it doesn't work out. So you have to be very receptive to things, and think about how do you help the other party first. Giving up your time for someone else is super important. And then yeah, I mean, engaging with industry leaders and communities. I mean, that there are a lot of leaders who are way better than you, and there are some great communities out there. I mean, believe me, when I started with Meetup, I think in 2009, when I was actually in my BBA first year in Bhubaneswar, right? So I remember that in Kate, when I really wanted to know about these platforms, Meetup was not premium that time. Okay, so Meetup was free, everything was free. Now even to check someone's profile, you need a premium actually, because Meetup is now on a premium version, right? So I remember that time, I really aspire to see some leaders who speak at some great events, to now when I am also getting that opportunity. So there's always a time when you will get a chance, but you have to engage with those industry leaders. You have to participate in a lot of conferences, as I have mentioned earlier, right? So earlier I was going an attendee, now I'm going more as a speaker in the past decade. So this is how you start engaging with industry leaders, and then they recommend you as a speaker, right? And yeah, I mean, I also run platforms which is about job matchmaking platforms and things like that. So I mean, yeah, I mean, tomorrow if you are looking for internship jobs, do reach out to me. As well as, like, let's just say you're looking for training opportunities, so do reach out to me. So these are some amazing platforms currently available in the 21st century, which I believe was not there last 5 years or 10 years before. So right now you have everything sitting at your home. You just need a click, and you can quickly sign up with anything right now on the platform, and that will help you to find a lot of opportunity, not just with job, but also with freelance opportunities. I know when I was doing freelancing on freelancer.com, there were very less competition that time. Now if I see this huge competition, right? So there are different platforms where you can make money. You can do freelancing. At the same time, there's huge competition out there, right? So you really have to leverage the AI. That is one of the most important thing which I really wanted to highlight, right? So it's all about your optimizing your brand, and doing things and things like that, right? Now talking about case studies, I really wanted to showcase some of the case studies which I have done. Let's just say about professionals who have had really strong brands, right? And maybe a little bit of lessons I learned. I'll just summarize it in few minutes along with that. So one of the things I wanted to highlight about professionals who build strong brands, so you can just see some of the professionals like Jack Ma, for example, Alibaba, right? So he got a lot of rejections, with a lot of jobs he applied, and then he never gave up. I think he was maybe above 50 when he built Alibaba, right? So there's no single age I can say when you can start your own company. So it's just about your persistence and your resilience, which is super important. And make sure you are okay with rejections. That is part of life. I mean, that is super important, right? And when I talk about some of the lessons which I learned from my own journey is obviously like give time, so that's super important. So when you're actually reaching out to someone, just let them breathe. Do not aggressively follow up with them. This is super important. If you do that, it just sounds something unprofessional, what I believe in. And there are a lot of pitches you might get. There are a lot of people spamming you out there, so you don't want to do like that, right? So let's just say when you're reaching out for a freelance opportunity, let's just say you're looking for XYZ opportunity, give the other person some time to revert back, right? Don't just hurry and send them so many texts and things like that. This is one of the key lessons I have learned in my journey. And the most important another thing which I really wanted to highlight is do more as much as possible. You also have the same 24 hours, I also have the same 24. How do you make it super effective? I mean, don't think about maybe I'll work less, make more. No, doesn't work like that. So you have to work more. Money automatically will flow, but you really have to be very dedicated to the time which you work with. I mean, different time zones you work with, right? So I mean, depending upon that, you can do that, right? And again, I mean, I will quickly show you some of the actionable strategies before we wrap up this session. And also something I wanted to highlight before I share you maybe the steps about improving your personal brand. I mean, I'll take my own example, and I'll show you what AI recommended to me. I really wanted to highlight before that you have to have a weekly or a daily personal brand checklist. So let's just for example to start with, okay, so this is something I'm talking about. If let's just say someone is starting out with their personal brand, so you do 2 posts per day per platform. Okay, I'm talking about per platform. Make sure if you're doing on LinkedIn, it's 2 per day. If you're doing on Facebook, it's again 2 per day. If you're doing on Instagram, again 2 per day. So it will be 6 posts if you do on these 3 platforms. Sending new DMs, okay, sending direct messages to new people, 15 per day. This is what I have been doing since like past decade. New connection request, I think 5 to 10 is decent, because you really don't want to go into LinkedIn, Facebook, and other jails, right? So you make sure that people are accepting. I think a 50% ratio is good. If they are accepting, then you can probably send those connections on a regular basis. And yeah, this is my favorite. I mean, if you go to my LinkedIn, you will see I love resharing post. So reshare the post if someone has either tagged you, or even if they have not tagged you, even if they want to actually give you some kind of instances. Let's just say they want to provide you some kind of information. I see a lot of people tagging me, talking about Azure certifications, I can see right now. And they have actually given me a lot of chances, in terms of also adding value to those posts. I'm happy to do that with them as well. So that is something you can probably also do, which is something one of my favorite right now, right, which I think is also super important right now. So yeah, I mean, you can really do a lot of things when it comes to actionable strategies, when it comes to doing a lot of things for your audience, right? So these are some things which I really wanted to highlight. Now before I talk about this 5 quick steps I really wanted to tell you this is something very relevant to my profile. I have let the AI design this for me. So again, to your profile, it might be something different. So let's just quickly go and check the Word document which has been designed. I'll just try to increase the font. I think it should be visible to you in few seconds. Hopefully, my Word document will be visible. Just give me a second. Yeah, I hope the font is fine. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it is going to come up on the screen shortly. But again, as I was talking about the quick steps to improve your personal branding, so I think one instance which I really wanted to talk about is your LinkedIn profile. That should speak a lot, right? So your LinkedIn profile is something which is super important for you, right? So as you can see on the screen, I have also tried to make it little large so that you can see it. All right. So, first and the foremost important thing, which I believe is important for your personal brand right now, it is about defining your unique value proposition. I think this is something which you see on my LinkedIn profile right now. So I think, as Rashmita was telling about my experience, so it's about AI, digital marketing, and corporate training, very specifically to AI, business, and education. So this is what is being highlighted on my profile. If you see my LinkedIn and my headline, if you see, there are some suggestions from AI tools like ChatGPT. Maybe I can change it to AI and Gen AI consultant, startup mentor, speaker at Microsoft and global events. So these are some suggestions to my profile. So based upon your profile, you can also get similar kind of suggestions about what should be a good headline for you, right? So that is something you can also look out into that kind of instances, right? Then again, when I talk about moving from headline to the next part, which is about showcasing through your leadership, which is your thought leadership, right? So I mean, I've been doing a lot of freelance opportunity as LinkedIn influencer, writing LinkedIn articles. There's like around 12 companies out there who have reached out to me and being, helping them position their companies, whether they have some amazing tools or whether they have some amazing products out there and doing things like that. So then again, it depends on how much bandwidth you have. But I think, publishing as many LinkedIn articles per month on different topics, like for me, it's AI, Gen AI, and corporate training. So you can do that. You can show it through that. Parallelly, I mean, you can see this is something I'm not doing right now. Okay, so this is something what AI tool is suggesting me, which is sharing a short form content. Let's just say AI insights in 60 seconds post or startup lessons learned from my journey, right? So yeah, I've shared some things right now, maybe while speaking, but I have not written a post right now. But this is what amazing the AI tools like ChatGPT can do. It's just suggesting you based upon my profile, like, look, you have to write this post. I'm actually going to do it today, since I've got this great suggestion. Right. And then, yeah, I mean, engaging with industry leaders, this is what I've been doing, and this is what I want to do more. So for me, it's AI, Microsoft, and startup communities that is really helping me to boost visibility. I think we are right now live with Microsoft Reactor, as I can see, and on different channels like YouTube and other social media channels. Microsoft Reactor has a lot of subscribers, I think, and it is going to reach to a lot of people out there. My video is going live there. So you really have to engage with a lot of people, and publish yourself as an expert in your field. That will help you to leverage and get a lot of, expertise, opportunities, and things like that, right? Now, the next thing which I really wanted to highlight, since we have few minutes remaining, is about leveraging your public speaking and training experience, as you can see on the Word document here. So I think I've spoken about having a portfolio page, whether it's on your own, let's say, website, or whether you have a LinkedIn featured section. I think LinkedIn has a featured section. So if you go to my LinkedIn, you will definitely find my featured section, where you're going to find different kind of places where I have contributed, or let's just say some new areas where I want to explore and do things like that. And then, yes, super important is, once you have your portfolio set, once you have your LinkedIn featured action set, the next thing is about pinning that Microsoft lectures, AML training programs, and let's just say my South Korea AI summit experiences, because again, these are international experiences that I had. So this is what AI is suggesting me to pin it. I have pinned it already on my profile, right? And I remember taking a snippet of my lecture at Dubai. So it was, I think, a 1 minute video which I put it on my LinkedIn, about I was talking about Microsoft for Founders Hub, how we can help and guide students, or let's just say coming up upcoming startups and things like that. So those kind of small event snippets that really would be super important for you to share your takeaways, what you learned. And then obviously behind the scene moments, just like you see influencers doing out saying like, okay, this is how it started just before the lecture was actually had. So if you can capture those pictures, those images, that would be great. So behind those scenes moments are super important. Now since we have spoke about, let's just say, about leveraging our public speaking and training experience, let's just also move to the next part, which is about strengthening our digital footprint. So when people say, how about SEO? Okay, so when I talk about search engine optimization, I think you can use relevant tags. So for MVPs, we have MVP for buzz. So if you use hashtag MVP for buzz, you'll find all the posts which Microsoft MVPs are doing. Right. So if you aspire to become an MVP, or let's just say you want to get some relevant contents from Microsoft MVP, you can search that keyword. Parallelly, I mean, if you want to be an expert, let's just say in Gen AI, so use hashtag Gen AI. Or let's just say for business, if you want to use, I think my favorite is AI for business. So I mean, this will really help LinkedIn to make your profile very relevant. If you want to be a speaker, or let's say a corporate trainer. And yeah, I mean, one of the important thing which I think most of us are missing right now is requesting recommendations from past clients. I think this is something we have to be very aggressive with. So if you are really reaching out to a lot of people, make sure you are also getting the recommendations, and also give recommendations. So if you go to my LinkedIn profile, I give more than what I actually ask for. So give more recommendation to other people, maybe your past clients whom with your work, maybe because again they will be hiring someone else as well. So give the regular and a good feedback to them as well, even to startup founders. And let's just say all the attendees here, which is here. So if you really liked to this session, and if you feel you would like to contribute to my network, be part of this amazing reactor sessions and all, do go and write something on the LinkedIn. Do tag me, do tag Microsoft Reactor, and talk about things about what you learned, because this is something going to double your engagements, because we are also going to reshare. Think about Microsoft Reactor having close to around 80,000 plus subscribers, and then I have a LinkedIn of, let's just say, about 21,000 plus subscribers. So a great massive value you get when you tag us, right? And then repurpose your content. Okay, I mean, obviously your AI insights can be made into, let's just say, if you're on X platform, you can make a short tweet, right? You can make LinkedIn carousels. They are my favorite. So LinkedIn carousels are nothing but you have different images, put in a PDF format, and let's just say you put it in beautiful format. You can put your image along with the content as well in a LinkedIn carousel. Right. And YouTube shorts, I think, yeah, I mean, a lot of people have YouTube channels. I also have a YouTube channel. So you can use YouTube shorts, maybe make some 5 to 10 seconds of a short clips, that you can just take a screenshot of your LinkedIn post and then post it across. And the last thing which I really wanted to highlight is about networking and collaborating with high impact individuals. We were talking about this, I think, to one of my friend in Pune. We were talking about the same thing, like, every year you're trying to meet a lot of people, but are you meeting high impact individuals, right? So you really have to travel. You have to, go across the borders, meet some amazing folks out there. Your mindset will change. So high impact individuals are super important to network with. Someone who's been a global speaker, someone who is, let's say, a global startup mentor. So try to reach out to more number of people. That way you can really be happy and doing a lot of things, and be more successful with that kind of things, right? So yeah, I mean, considering we are sharp on time, so this is my LinkedIn. If you want to be connected with me, I'm happy to have any kind of questions. If you have, I'm also checking YouTube just in case if you have any questions, so happy to answer it. So you can scan this code if you want to participate in any of my future lectures and things like that. Right. But yeah, I mean, thanks everyone for joining in. I really wanted to finish it on time. So yeah, I mean, thank you so much for having me here, and I am looking forward to connecting with everyone out there. So yeah, thank you so much.
Great. Abhilay, we do have few questions. So before we end the session, I would just request you if you can just quickly answer to those. There
Sure.
is one question from Ari Priya.
Hmm.
Uh, why is it important to know the demographic reach of the LinkedIn post?
Okay. So I think the reason is, I mean, whom are you engaging with? Okay. So let's just say, for example, I am actually engaging with someone who is a senior IT director, and maybe, there's likely chances this is my ICP, my individual customer profile, whom I want to sell training solutions. So this is super important. Who is my demographics? Who is my individual customer profile? I really need to know. So I need to get. So if you have different AI tools, like I showed one, so you can get much more deeper insights about whom you're engaging with, and that will be more relevant to write content accordingly to them.
Awesome. There's few other questions from Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said that should do two posts per day per platform. Does it have to be unique post or can they be the same thing? Example, post in a platform, post A in a platform 2, and post A in a platform 3. And then I think there's a follow-up question to that is, or
Mhm.
does it have to be different post? Example, post A in a platform 1, post B in platform 2, or post C in platform 3?
I think my approach is obviously, have same post across all platforms, because again, this will make people remember you much faster. So let's just say you do a LinkedIn post today. You're talking about personal branding. So you do a LinkedIn post, on personal branding. Then you write an article on Medium, which is about personal branding, and then on Facebook as well. So similar post across all these platforms. But the second post which you're doing should have a different content or context. It shouldn't be the same. So let's just say I'm talking about personal branding, the another could be talking about, let's just say, how to get and land opportunities using those kind of technologies, or let's just say AI tools and things like that. So it has to be different. So coming to the follow-up question, it has to be different, but again, make it very similar to all those places. So let's just say, you're posting it on LinkedIn or other social media. It has to be the same post. It can go it, in different versions again, for post one and post two.
Awesome, great. I think with that, it's a wrap up. Thank you so much, Abhilek, for hosting this session, and thank you all for joining us today. Please visit Microsoft Reactor website for more upcoming sessions. Also, we would appreciate your feedback on today's session as it will help us to curate future sessions. Please scan the QR code and do share your feedback. Today's event ID is 25146. Feel free to use the Learn module link. This will give you access to additional resources to take your learning further. Thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Rashmita. Thank you all. We'll catch up soon.